To extreme or to boom? That's today's question, guys. So in this comparison, I will be comparing the fantastic tennis racket of the year 2022, the Extreme MP 2022 with the auxetic technology that was awarded by myself in the last video of 2022. If you didn't see that, click somewhere here in the corner to watch it. And the contender in this comparison is the Boom MP 2022, the first release in the Boom series or in the Boom line of rackets. And this will be a very, very interesting one. So don't get fooled by the MP, name, because these rackets are, at the end of the day, quite different. So guys, stay tuned.
After Toronto and Cincinnati, I knew that it's not like the end of the world that I'm losing in third round, you know. It's not like the whole universe changed. So right now I'm always going to be in quarterfinals or finals or whatever, or win tournaments. So I try to just remind myself that it's kind of normal and it's impossible to play always on the same level.
Hello tennis guys, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to New Year 2023. I hope you enjoyed Christmas. I hope you enjoyed the last days of the previous year, of the 2022 year. It was a fantastic year for tennis equipment, tennis rackets, lots of great releases. But we are in 2023, and I took this opportunity to make a first video to compare rackets that I really liked in the previous year. And you were asking me to make this comparison because obviously both rackets are from head, both rackets are MPs with the same head size, with quite, let's say, similar specs, with similar technologies, but they play different. So really don't be fooled by the specs, by the name, because one of those rackets is way more powerful, and one of those rackets is surprisingly more, let's say, control oriented. But which one of these rackets you will find out in today's comparison. So let's begin with the head size. So I told you it's the same head size, 100 inches, so 645 square centimeters. But the biggest difference is in the head shape, guys. So don't be fooled by the overall head size. The head shape for the Extreme MP on the left side is classic, let's say. It's the oval, classic oval head shape. The Boom MP comes out with a Yonex-like head size or head shape that is more similar to the isometric head shape. And if you didn't see my review for the Boom series, for the Boom MP and Boom Pro, check it out. These rackets are great, and they are surprisingly really good also for the intermediate or even advanced players, or even maybe for some tournament oriented players, for some women juniors, and they performed at the end of the day much better than I expected. So the head size or the head shape, sorry, for the Boom MP is more opened on the upper hoop, let's say. That's why the sweet spot is not in the center of the racket. It's more up, even more than compared to the Extreme MP. And when you hit the ball, let's say in the spot where you see the logo and where you see the spot of the head of the logo, there is the center. There is the sweet spot actually, and if you hit the ball right there, you get the most of the racket, because at this position, let's say, or maybe a little bit lower here, the frame, the head size or the head shape is the widest compared to the classic oval head shape, which is way lower. It is almost like in the center is the sweet spot for the Extreme MP. So the Boom MP has, let's say, more generous sweet spot, but at the same time, the sweet spot is a little bit more far away from your hand, and surprisingly that gives you a really nice blend of power, feel, touch. So that is something that these two rackets are a little bit different in, and we will talk about it a little bit later. So now the weight, there is also a difference. So Extreme MP, obviously classic, let's say 300 gram unstrung. The Boom MP is a little bit lighter, 295 gram. I would say it's not a big deal, but if we look at the next spot, the balance, there is the, let's say, difference that when you mix it with the weight, it makes a really huge difference. So the balance for Extreme MP is 320 and the Boom MP is 315. So a quite light racket with a 315 balance. It's like a balance for a heavy control oriented racket. So the Boom MP feels so light in your hand because you have all the control of the head of the racket, of the overall frame in your hand. Usually the 315 millimeter balance is for rackets over 305 gram, like 310, 320, 330, and so on. So this is a very hand heavy racket for the nice Manooovrlbity. Yeah, the first Manooovrlbity in 2023, guys, is here, and I need to say it is super easy to play with the Boom MP, and I recommend it for women, especially for juniors, for weaker men that are learning tennis, and great racket. So the stiffness, Extreme MP just a little bit, tiny little bit stiffer, 66 RA. I like that. It's a let's say medium stiffness, and the Boom MP 64, little bit more plush feel. And at the end of the day, and I'm coming to the point, you will be surprised by that, but just a little bit more control. So a little bit more feel and a little bit more control for the Boom MP. Are you surprised? Yeah, I was surprised too, because the name of the racket, the Boom, is like not what you think, but we will get into that later. So the beam width, 23, 26, 21 for Extreme MP. So 23 here on the upper hoop, on the sides of the head it's wide, it's 26, and at the throat section it's 21. It's very thin, so that's quite interesting. Now when we compare it to the Boom MP, it's 23.5, 24.5, and 23.5. So it's a quite, let's say, constant width of the frame. It's not like super thick or super wide, but it's far away from a thin beam. So nice mix of power and control overall, but rather the racket is focused for the power and, let's say, stability than on more control. And the control is the overall control is a little bit better with the Extreme MP. Now string pattern 16x19 is the same for both rackets. They are, let's say, standard standard string patterns for more and easier spin and overall easier or softer string bed that will help you to generate more easy power. Composition 100% graphite. You can call it how you want. You can call it like graphene inside. You can call it graphene 360 plus, etc. So, but it's at the end of the day, it's a 100% graphite. So we have the specs. Now we will jump to the tech, to the technologies, and they are quite similar, just minor differences. So both use the auxetic. Boom was the first racket to use the auxetic. I was blown away how the racket felt, how I felt connected to the ball. It's literally like hitting the ball with your palm, not with the racket. It's like connected straight to your palm. Just fantastic. It makes a really great difference. It's both in these both rackets, so you won't miss anything when you buy either Extreme or the Boom. Graphene inside is this, let's say, technology. It's a graphite. It's a graphite. They call it graphene. They promoted that it is placed on the strategic positions, but I believe it doesn't really play any big difference. Just call it graphene, graphite, whatever you want. It is there in both rackets. That's the main composition that these rackets are made from. Now, there are the technologies, the spin, grommets, patterns, the grommets, patterns, shaft, etc. So the Extreme MP uses the spin grommets for better spin, obviously. So the grommets are bigger, are larger at the top of the head. There are big round grommets, so the strings, the middle strings, like the 8 middle strings, can move a lot and they can create the chaos, let's say, the spin potential. And there are even spin grommets on the sides, on the 3 o'clock and on the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and they are not round, but they are rectangular, is it? I'm really struggling with this word. And they allow the strings to move more on the sideways, so you get more movement of the strings like that, the string bed, and that also creates a bigger snapback, bigger spin potential. But as I said in the review for the Extreme MP and the Extreme Tour, I was surprised that the spin is not that massive. It doesn't really enforce you to play a spin shot. They are also great for flat shots. If we compare it to the power grommets, well, the power grommets for Boom MP, they are there to create more power. And I believe, as I remember, that the power grommets are just a little bit bigger grommets overall to make the strings move just a little bit, but they don't limit the strings in any angle of the movement. So it just creates like more power, but it doesn't really enhance the spin so much. But the spin with the Boom MP is really good too. I need to be honest with you. I like that. So now the pattern of the string. It means how the strings are positioned, what is the space between each of the strings. So for Extreme MP, the spin pattern, I believe the spin pattern has a really big, massive space between each of the strings. Even the cross strings have like a bigger space between each others, and the long strings to the main strings. So again, it bites more into the ball, it grabs the ball and creates more spin. Compared to the Boom MP, which uses the uni pattern, that is a mixture of the spin pattern with the big spaces and the speed pattern that is used in the speed series of the rackets, and is like a medium pattern. is not that big, but also is not that small, the space between each of the strings. So it's like a medium. You can find both control, speed, spin, power in the racket. Now the shaft, so the spin shaft for the Extreme MP, it's little bit bigger in the, if you look at the lower part, so there the part is more filled with the material, with the graphite or graphene or whatever, and it makes the racket more stable, more powerful, more spin oriented, because the power also equals to the more spin. And the overall neck, or sorry, the shaft is a little bit, let's say, shorter, or let's say classic compared to the morph beam. When you look at the morph beam for the Boom MP, it is more similar to the Speed series of the rackets. It's elongated, so it's longer. The space between the handle or the grip is bigger. When you measure the space between the grip and the head, it is bigger compared to the Extreme MP, and that gives you guys more feel, more touch, a little bit also more precision. And I'm coming to that the Boom MP is actually surprisingly more precise. That is just well, for someone, very surprising. Now there is this sound grommets technology for Extreme MP. Okay, once again, the grommets are, well, designed so they make a higher sound, more pop, more of the wooden sound. When you hit the ball, it's like ping, pong, pong. Okay, so you will hear that when you hit the racket with the ball, with the racket in the sweet spot. And the directional, there is the directional drilling, no sound grommets for the Boom MP. And the directional drilling I was talking about is the way how the holes for the grommets are drilled, so they are more direct in a way that they don't put as high stress on the strings. They create a softer string bed, let's say more effortless power. They also, I believe, help the strings to maintain the overall tension just a little bit better. And it's a technology that is used, I believe, also in the speed series. And once again, when there is a technology in the Boom MP that is used in the Speed MP, what does it mean? It's a little bit, once again, more control oriented. So guys, I will close this comparison with the feel of these rackets, how they play, and that's the biggest thing, and it's most important for you. So surprisingly, the Boom MP is not what you think. It's not a racket that creates mainly the power for you. It's the racket that allows you to go for the shot, to swing as fast as you can, even if you don't really know, or your technique is not that developed on the let's say intermediate or advanced level, and still the racket will help you to maintain the direction of the ball, the length of the ball. It works really, really great. I was surprised that I could really hit with the racket as fast as I could, and most of the times the ball landed in. I wasn't like able to overshoot the court or to be too powerful with the racket. So surprisingly, it gives you the control and the confidence that you can swing with the racket, and you can boom. You can really go boom with the racket how you want, and the racket will just somehow control the swing for you, control the trajectory, and the ball will end in. I even heard from people that I borrowed them the racket just to try them. They told me the Boom is actually underpowered. It's a low-powered racket. it's like a control-oriented racket. They felt like there is no power. And I was like, you need to swing with the racket like crazy. And then the racket works. And it's for the people who really don't have the control in their hands, who maybe don't have the feel to control the ball. Just swing it like crazy and the ball gets in. Now the Extreme MP is just different, quite different. And when I'm looking at the specs, we forgot to talk about the swing weight. Oh man, I skipped the swing weight. I will jump into the swing weight later. So the Extreme MP is a very, very powerful racket. It's for someone who already knows how to control the ball, who already knows how to apply spin, how to apply different type of, let's say, swing path, the vertical path, the horizontal path, who can play flat, who can mix the flat shots with spin shots. And it's a way more powerful racket compared to the Boom, but also just a tiny little bit less of the precision, maybe of the feel, because it's a little bit stiffer. And it's just a really great, powerful racket for the baseliner who's going for the ball and swinging and attacking, etc. So but you need to know how to play tennis already with the MP. You need to be, I would say, at least upper intermediate compared to the Boom MP. You can be even a beginner with the MP and you will enjoy it greatly, because it will just say to you, okay, everything is okay, do whatever you want. I'm here to really help you and to give you the sense that you can't miss. You just can't miss. And the special head shape that is really similar on the top of the head with the Yonex rackets, it helps you to and calm you and give you the confidence that the sweet spot is great. So without any hesitation, I would say, if you want to be more competitive, you want to you are at the intermediate or even advanced level, just the Extreme MP is great because you already know how to control the ball. If you are still learning and you are like unsure if your next racket should be this or that, the Boom MP has surprisingly great amount of control. It's not that powerful. You just need to swing with it, but at the end of the day, it will help you to maintain the length of the ball and the power just a little bit better or easier. So I would say Boom MP, great overall, great for women. Extreme MP also for advanced women, but it's better for some intermediate men and maybe advanced men or juniors that want to play some tournament. So guys, that's it. I think many of you are now surprised because people are still thinking that the Boom MP is a super powerful racket. You can swing like crazy, or sorry, it gives you the crazy power, but it's not like that. And now I'm coming back to the swing weight. I totally forgot about it. How can I forget about the swing weight? So the swing weight for the Extreme MP, as I measured it, 318. Great. 322 measured by Tennis Warehouse, so just a little bit more. I think that the realistically, really, the Extreme MP is so easy so easy to control that I believe it is lower than the 322 if you buy the racket. Maybe they just got some batch of rackets with a different balance, little bit balance more to the head, but overall the swing weight is about, I believe, realistically it is about like 315 to 320. Now the swing weight for the Boom. Guys, if you didn't see my quality control test for these rackets, I was shocked. So Boom MP, I measured just 298, but when I played with the racket, it made total sense. I was like, it doesn't have really that much power. The flow through is not really there. And when I look at Tennis Warehouse and they're still showing the 318 swing weight, it's just not, it's just not possible, because for me it is really not possible, because I think with that type of balance and that type of weight, you just can't get 318. So 298 I measured is really low, but I believe realistically it should be about 3.5 and 3.10 realistically, because the balance was also a little bit off when I measured the racket, and the weight was also a little bit off when I measured the weight. So that's why it created just a 298 swing weight. So guys, that was this tennis racket comparison, the first one in 2023. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you can support my channel by buying me a coffee. Yeah, I'm having here right one, and the link is below in the description. You can click the super thanks button, thank you so much, and you can buy some merch at my store, some clothes and other great stuff with the design of the tennis legend like Serena, Roger, Novak, and Rafa. These 4 tennis legends are there for you to take home. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your great comments, and I will catch you in my next video. So guys, enjoy tennis, play tennis every time, every day, and don't forget to enjoy the Manooovrlbity. Bye guys.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line!